Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to tutorial of 3D printing using Craftware. So first of all, we will see how to download Craftware from net. So let's search first of all Craftware. So Craftware basically is the software uh, used by the 3D printer which come under the name of Craftbot. So in our lab we have Craftbot XL. So make sure that you have setting in your Craftware software regarding the Craftware software. So in you can see here I've opened the website and you can see the name of the website as craftbot.com, and here you can find out the software name Craftware. So you can download it, and if the software, if you need other than Windows, you may go to uh, Mac OS, Linux, Chrome, whatever OS you are running. You can download the Craftware version for that OS respectively. So right now I'm gonna skip this step of downloading, as I already have downloaded the software and installed in my computer. So let's start with the uh, software. So I'm finishing it. You can download and install it. So let's start with the Craftware. So here, this is the GUI, or the main window of the Craftware. Here you can see the window of this software has been divided, or the tab of this window screen of this software has been divided into three main sections, or three main parts. You can see here where my mouse is going on. You can see here here you can modify your files. You can start a new project. You can open a new project. You can save as, and you can even toggle your camera view. So here you can see this is home, the default settings of the screen of the view. Then there is top view, then extended view, then we have left, right, and so on, but we will go with the home screen. So right now, if you see, first of all we will see the new project. So let's suppose if we click the new project, you can start with the new project which is already open. So it will just go on like this. Second thing is open. So here you can see there is the file name as craft project. So the file saved, the project saved in Craftware is the has its own file. So in Craftware you have to save the project by Craftware project name. This is its own file and only can only be used by Craftware only. So now if you want to open it or you want to save it, you can save it. First, for example, I can save as, and it will save as Craftware project, which is it. I already mentioned it. You can. So I'm saving as user tutorial. So I have saved it as user tutorial. So you can see here in user, I've saved it at the Craftware project. Now, if you want to open a project, you can open it. You can save as. Now, if you want to add geometry, whom you want to slice, or which you want to slice, you can go into the files where STL files are present. So remember that you can input only the STL files into Craftware software or any other slicing software. So I have here multiple type of files like centrifugal pump, pyramid. You can download it from internet. You can develop it or create it in any software, the modeling software. So I'm gonna go with this geometry. So first of all, if we take out the housing, so I'm opening the housing. So you can see here I've just added a file here. So you can first of all select the file by using left click of the mouse, and you can rotate this screen by clicking the right right click of the mouse, and the middle click is used to drag the screen around. So remember that. Okay, now next thing which you can see here, I can select with the left mouse, then I can remove or add further. If there are multiple objects you want to print at the same time, you can add multiple objects. Like I'm selecting this and they will just add up. So I'm just gonna separate them. Now here you can see this red portion. Remember that there is intersection between the base and the part. So part is not going to print. Uh, there will be some fault, or the part it will not print so properly. So now I'm going to remove this one. You can add multiple. Now second thing is select. You can select it. Move. Now remember move. If you can select an object, go to the command move, and you can just move it around. So remember, you have whichever axis you select, you can move along that axis. I have selected the y-axis because y is blue here. So if I move it along if I select y-axis, I can move along y-axis. If I select x-axis, I can move along x-axis. Similarly, z-axis. Now remember that you don't I don't recommend touching the z-axis because it will change the height of the object with the base. Now the base is touching the uh, base of this part is touching the bed. So remember that if you move along z-axis, you will not get the part aligned to the base or the bed. Now there will be some, if I go with the front view, there will be some gap between the two. So because right now if you see here, there will be some gap, and secondly you can see here the z value will immediately turn to 0 as soon as you leave the part. So remember that for this you can just realign or realign the object, so it will just realign and you can work again. So remember to use x and y axis, not the z axis. Next thing is rotate. Now you can rotate along whichever axis you have selected by using left hand click of the mouse. So I've given angle snap 15. You can select anyone, 30, 45 degree, 90 degree, based on your own convenience. So right now you can go for example, I wanna move the object along y-axis, no problem. X-axis, no problem. Z-axis, no problem. Now next thing is scale. Now if you want to scale this object, you can select scale. This is 100%. You can scale up, scale down using, let's suppose if I'm going to scale down, I will select 80%. If I'm going to scale back, I will 100%, or reset, you can select reset. Now this log shows that all three dimensions, or all three dimension will scale at the same rate. If you unlock this one, you can separately change the scale of in each axis. Now next thing is drop. So what is the purpose of drop? Drop is basically used to place the surface which is convenient to print on the bed of the object. Let's suppose if I select gonna go drop, I will select this one, then again this one. So at 15 degree I would go with the realign, and then I will go for reset. Then I'm gonna go for the drop, and I'm gonna select 90 degree. So I'm gonna select 90 degree so that I can easily go for the object. So right now it is giving me problem. So right now, so in this case As you can see here, I have to realign. You can see here that the base of this part, I've just dropped the object because it will be convenient to print this object like this, or even if you want to print this object, for example, I want to drop this, I will just go for this side and it will just drop. So you can see here, I will go with the move option and I will just realign it then. So x-axis, y-axis, and that's how you can manage your objects. Next thing is bisect. If you want to bisect an object, for example, if there is an aerofoil or a complex object and you want to divide it, you can easily divide this one. For example, I wanted to divide this part from here, I can easily bisect it. Okay, so select the object and then select bisect, it will be bisected into two parts. So right now if we see here, I will select only one part, it has been bisected. So you can undo it. I'm gonna undo it and then gonna start again. And next thing is split. What is the difference between bisect and splits? Bisect is used to divide a single part into two parts or multiple parts as you wish, and split is used if you have an assembly, means that there are two parts and they have a joint or there are surfaces. So by using split you can divide the assemblies into multiple parts and then print them. And thirdly, there is an auto drop option if you think that you can't just align the object so that you can print the part conveniently, you can just go for the auto drop option. So this is for the file management, this is for the object management or movement of the object. And now here, this window where mouse is my cursor is moving, you can see here there are two options, one is slice, one is sport, and third one is options. So I'm going to go for options first. So first of all, if we go with the general options, in options with the general tab, you can see here with the language, the maximum number of cores which it can support. The thread priority, you can set it to high if you have to print the object immediately, or you want to set the preference to the printing, you can go for the high one. Now next thing is file handling. G code, G default, this is gonna be default. And next thing is graphics. We are not gonna discuss graphics or keyboards or colors. You can set on your own according to your own taste. I'm gonna go with the printer setting. So first of all, you're gonna select the Craftboard XL, which is the printer in our lab. You're gonna see that its width in X direction is 300 mm, in Y direction this is 200 mm, and in Z direction that is for 40 mm. Now if you see here, these are default. If you are gonna use another software, you have to put these settings in that software. For example, if you are using Ultimaker QRA, you are gonna use these settings in X, Y, and Z direction to configure the printer. Next thing is build plate. Build plate is gonna go for glass because we are using glass. Hot end is regular. Okay. Now next thing is G code header. So if you are gonna slice the object, there will be a developed code known as G code. You already know. But before the G code, the machine will run some commands, and after the G code, machine will run some commands. So these are the default commands which will be run on the machine before the G code or the G code obtained after the slicing. So this command represent to go to move the header to the to home. So, and G-code footer will have some commands. Specifically, it will move the header after printing 5 mm above in the Z direction, and it will move the header to the home position. And thirdly, so this will be executed before these G code will be executed before the G code obtained from the slicing, and these lines of code will be run after the uh, G code lines obtained after the slicing. Now, if you see here, these are the offset settings has been 12.5. So let it be the default value. Now here you can see you can just put the price of filament per meter. You can put it in rupees so that you can easily manage the pricing, and you can put the density of PLA ABS as per your spool, so that you can measure the mass of the filament which have been used, and the cost per unit meter of the filament, so you can make up the pricings. Next thing, I'm gonna leave it to these settings and gonna go for the slicing. So first of all, in the upper left corner you can see the print quality. So first of all, you can select the three qualities based on your part, the of the part you want to get. You want to get ultra, high, medium. So for the regular printing or the hobby printing, you can go for high and medium, and for the professional or the industrial printing, you can go for the ultra one. And next thing is printer. These are the settings regarding the printer. So here you can see the nozzle size. It will be mounted on the nozzle head or the printing head, and you have to specify it. So make sure that you know the nozzle size categorically. So that is 0.25, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. We have installed 0.4 mm nozzle on the printer head. Next thing is build plate. I already mentioned that it is glass, hot and regular. Material is PLA. Right now PLA material is installed on the printer. So we are going to go for the settings regarding PLA. Next thing is there are multiple settings like current, easy, preset, default, preset. So let's suppose uh, you can select any of the given settings or the select settings you have stored. I have already stored this setting SE1. So if you, let's suppose if you want to go for a modified settings, for example, if I'm gonna select the nozzle extrusion width to 0.6 and then gonna store it, it will ask you a name, and you can just store the settings as per your convenience in here, so that you can use those settings afterwards. So you can store them, you can load them. For example, I'm gonna load default preset. It's gonna select here, then I can store it, delete it, load defaults, import. Even I can import. So these files will be the Craftware slicer presets. They are specifically only for Craftware. You can't use these settings on or import on other softwares. Next thing is export. You can export to other computer where Craftware is installed. So now begin with the basic settings. So first of all, you're gonna see here extrusion width, which is 0.4 mm, and it will be according to your nozzle size. You can reduce it, but we are gonna keep equal to the nozzle size right now, for now on. Now next thing is layer height. If we talk about layer height, you can vary it based on your convenience or the quality of printing you want. I can go for 0.1, I can go for 0.2, I can go for 0.3, and I can go for 0.4, not more than that. Now next thing is the draw speed. So the layer height, lesser the layer height, better the printing quality is. Remember that. So I'm gonna go for 0.2. For the beginners, you can keep the layer height half of the extrusion width, which will be 0.2. Now for the draw speed, remember that for the parts with very small parts, for example here, if I scale this part to very small dimensions like this diameter measures to 3 mm, 4 mm, 5 mm, then I have to reduce the speed or the drawing speed of this header or the header nozzle to less value. Remember that if you have intricate part or you have a very small part, you have to reduce the draw speed. Otherwise 60 mm speed, 60 mm per second speed is very good speed and average speed. So next thing is filament diameter. So filament diameter comes, you have to see on the spool you have installed on the machine, and you can put the diameter here. Now the flow adjustment is 100%, means that whatever the calculations you obtain from these values, you wanna go for the flow up to 100% of that flow. You can reduce it, you can go for higher values. Specifically we go for the higher values in the first layers which have to stick with the bed of the printer. Next thing is vertical shell. If we talk about the vertical shell, you can see here that it represents the vertical shell or the layers on the vertical walls. So these are the layers. If you can want to increase these layers, you can increase to 3, you can increase to 4. Right now you can see the number of layers are increasing. Now I'm gonna keep it 2 or 3 is more than enough layers for your hobby work. Uh, and if you need more strength, then you can go for more number of layers. Specifically about the shell, vertical shell. Similarly, the thickness will be obtained by multiplying number of layers with the extrusion width. So 0.4 multiplied by 3 will give you 1.2 mm, which is the total thickness of the shell. Next thing is, you can see here log, horizontal and vertical shell thickness. It means that they will have same thickness. So it means that if this value is 1.2 millimeter, then the top and the bottom layer here, the layers which will print above these will have the same thickness. Now if you can see, layer height is 0.2, which is half of the extrusion width. The number of layers on the horizontal shell will be double of the vertical shell. Remember that. So if you want to change these loop counts separately, you can go for that. You can increase, you can decrease it by 4. This will change to 4 and this will remain 3. You can again go for locking and it will just set up as per layer height and extrusion width and the number of layers you are given in the loop count. Similarly, you can go for here, you can go for here, it will change to 4. So they are interconnected, and these two values, top and bottom layers, are interconnected by this lock. You can change to unlock this and change the top and bottom layer separately, but I'm not gonna change them and I'm gonna keep them locked. Next thing is density of the parameter width. Parameter is the exterior most layer of this loop. So this, the outermost layer is called parameter. This parameter width is 100%. You can increase it, but we are gonna keep the default. And parameter speed will be the 50% of the draw speed. So what will happen? Usually, remember that I will go for that. There is outer shell, then there is inner fill. So for most of the time, the speed of the parameter is less than the draw speed, or the uh, is less than 100% of the draw speed, while the infill speed is more than 100% of the draw speed, which is here a 120%, 125%. So remember that you are gonna increase the speed for the infill so that layers, infill layers are printed fast than the parameter layers. Now next thing which rises is loop density and width. Remember that you are gonna keep the loop density to 100% here and for the top and bottom shell respectively. And also for the top and bottom shell to the density to the 100% and width to the 100%. Okay. However, for the loop and infill overlap, means that this infill and this layer or this loop will have some overlap for the batter strength, and this is 0.1% of the extrusion width. So we have defined the factor according to the extrusion width. So it will be 0.1 times of the 0.4. So they will, this infill and this layer will overlap each other for the batter strength up to 0.1 times of extrusion width. Next thing is path smoothing, just make it default. Next thing is minimum line length. So this is an important part. For example, if we talk about this layer where my cursor is moving, you can see here this line is very small line. So it will it will be if there is non-zero value, there will be a check command. It will check the length of this line or thread. If this length is greater than 0.5 times of 0.4, which is 0.2, then it is gonna print it. Otherwise it is not gonna print this line. Secondly, if we talk about zigzag optimization, means that if this thickness, you can see here the thread has gone in zigzag motion, or the header has gone in zigzag motion. So the header will perform a zigzag motion if and only if this thickness is 2 times of the extrusion width, means that it is 0.8 mm. If this thickness is less than 0.8 mm, it is gonna move around in the zigzag position and not gonna print here. It will print a single line which is 0.4 mm. So remember that. And thirdly, when it will apply the zigzag check command, it will gonna print single line. So here it will still apply this check position, which is 0.5 of extrusion width. So it will apply the check of minimum line length to this line or this thread. Next thing is angle increment, or the basic first angle. For example, this angle will represent the infill thread angles with the horizontal axis. For example, if I'm gonna shift this angle to 0 degree, these lines, this infill threads will be parallel to the x-axis. And if I'm gonna go for 45 degree, it will the angle will be 45 degree with the x-axis, and the increment in each layer will be 90 degree, means that the next layer will be perpendicular to the this, but it will still will be at 45 degree to the negative x-axis. Next thing is parallel lines. You can change the pattern of the infill. For example, you want to go for the sketch grid, triangular grid. You can want to go for 3D. If I'm going to increase the density, you can see better. For example, 3D grid, triangular grid. You want to go for square grid. You want to go for 45 degree. You want to go for 36 degree. You want to go for 30 degree. So what will happen? The angle of this thread will be 30 degree and perpendicular to each other. Okay, remember that. So we mostly go with the parallel or square, or based on your use. So I'm gonna go with the parallel. Next thing is infill density, means that the overall density or the free surface will be, you can say that 50% of this volume will be empty and 50% will be covered with the material. And what will be the width of this thread? It will be 120% of the extrusion width. Okay, and the speed will be 125%, so that infill layers can be printed faster. Next thing is angle. Angle will be 45 degree and 90 degree, as I mentioned earlier. So now we are gonna move for the advanced settings. So in advanced settings, specifically these settings are for if you are gonna print for the multiple parts, and there is speeds, islands. I'm not gonna discuss those. You are gonna keep these for the default right now, as you are on the basic level of this software. So the main just one tab I'm gonna discuss is drawing order. So this topic means that we have selected parameters, then loops, then fills. So first of all, what it gonna print? It gonna print the outermost layer, which is the parameter, then the remaining loops. If there are multiple loops here, for example, we have selected 3 loops, so outermost loop will be called parameter. The inner 2 layers are called loops, and then there it gonna go for fills. You can change the drawing order up to your convenience, but I will recommend to keep that order into default. Now next thing is foundation. There are 3 types of foundation for parts. For example, first is the skirt. If we talk about skirt, I'm going to discuss first layer height, but I'm going to go for the foundation first, then I'm going to discuss about the first layer height. So what will happen with the skirt? Actually, skirt is used to extrude out any material which has been damaged or worn out due to remelting or melting and remelting into the nozzle head. So you wanna just keep the bad part of the you are gonna keep the bad part of the material out of the printing zone. So first of all, you will draw some extra lines around the part, and it will remove all material default defected material out of the nozzle, and you will have fresh and good material out of the nozzle when you are gonna print here. So what is the offset command here? Basically, offset means where you want to print the skirt. If you want to, basically it is the distance between the part and the skirt layers. So if I increase the distance or decrease the distance, it will reduce the distance between the part and the skirt layers. I'm gonna keep it to the default. Next thing is minimum length. Now remember, you have to select minimum one of these values. If you are gonna keep minimum count to 0 loop, that means that it will just apply this command, and this check will be left alone. So if there are a minimum length of 250 mm, means that skirt will print up to 250 mm of the thread, and then gonna go for the printing of part. If I'm gonna make it 0 and then gonna select number of layers to 3 or 4, it will print number of layers up to 4 or 3. And if one of the value is higher, it's gonna go for the higher value. If the extrusion length in 4 loops is higher than the minimum length, then it's gonna go for 4 loops. And if this minimum extrusion length is greater than the 2 loops, it will extrude out 250 mm instead of 2 loops. So remember that. Next thing is brim. Basically, brim have 2 benefits. First of all, it will extrude out any bad material or defective material. Firstly, so that you can print the part safely in the inner side. Secondly, these layers will provide extra adhesion to the bed, so that your print part will not wrap out of the bed. So remember that you can change the loop count here. You can make number of layers 4, 5, but there is no minimum length option. And thickness you can gonna keep up to the layer height, which is 0. Thickness would be 2 mm as per your settings. So now this thickness is as per your extrusion width. Remember that. So now 5 loops means that there 5 multiplied by 0.4 means 2 mm thick. So this thickness will be 2 mm. Now next thing is raft. Basically, raft is if you gonna see a sleek part. For example, I have an I'm gonna add. For example, if you have a sleek part and you wanna print that part vertically, for example, I'm gonna add here the baby Groot. Let's open it. It will take time because it's a very long file. So if you have a part, I'm gonna scale it first and up to 50%, then I'm gonna go for other settings because this is going out of the range of the bed. That is why it was not selecting it. So right now I'm gonna move it to, I'm scaling it, so I'm gonna reset and then I'm gonna go for 50. Okay, then I'm gonna drag it or move it. So y-axis, I'm gonna go for x-axis. So if this if you're going to print a very sleek part and vertical part, you have to add raft. Basically, what will raft will do? It will add extra layers, extra bed beneath this part, and it will be offset by the 5 mm. For example, if I slice this part, number of layers will be created below this part, and it will provide good adhesion to the this Groot or this the part being printed. So you can change. Basically, there is offset of 5%, means that uh, the the first layer will be offset to around the profile of the first layer will be offset by 5 mm around this baby Groot, and then it gonna print 4 layers above that profile or along that profile. So I can reduce these layers up to, you can see, I can delete these layers, 1, 2, 3, and you can load PLA configuration, you can load ABS configuration, whatever you want. These are the default values. You can insert before, you can insert after, whatever you want to do. You can increase the number of layers. So I'm gonna go for the PLA settings and default settings. So it is gonna create 4 layers with the first layer with 15% infill density, but extrusion will be 150%, so that the layer will have more thickness with the and can be can uh, adhere to the bed more rigidly or more accurately. Next thing, next layer will be with 30%, and next 2 layers will be with 100%, so that you can have a firm bed on which you can print up the part. Next thing is first layer height. Remember that first layer height is very important because it will adhere to the your bed of the printer, and if it doesn't adhere well, the part is gonna wrap and it will just remove in during the printing. So first layer height is 0.2. You can reduce it for better printing of the or for the better adhesion. Next thing, extrusion adjustment, you can increase it if your part is not adhering properly to the bed. I'm gonna keep it to 100% and this layer height to default. So what was the value? I'm gonna load it default preset 0.4. Now draw speed. Basically, you keep the draw speed of the first layer very low, so that the layer will have time to cool down and to stick with the bed perfectly and accurately. Next thing is travel speed. You keep the travel speed so that you can give time to the first layer to cool down. Next thing is temperature is kept 100%, 0 adjusted 0. You're going to keep these values to the default values. Now After foundation, you are going to discuss temperature. So remember that these temperatures depend upon the material you are going to use. As you are going to use PLA, your bed temperature is 60 degrees centigrade because your printer in the lab works best on these settings. So I'm going to keep head temperature or the nozzle head temperature to 215 degrees centigrade. And on first three layers, I'm going to keep the fan disabled so that layers take greater time so that they can adhere to the bed perfectly. Next thing is speed. Speed is gonna be kept 100% for the next layers or from the layer, a fourth layer and above up to 100%. You can reduce it, you can increase it as you wish. Next thing is how you wanna heat up the printer. If you wanna go for bed first or head first, and you can heat up simultaneously, you can keep that on and leave the heat on. I'm gonna leave this option unchecked because it will uh, will be it will gonna cost electricity, so that's why I'm gonna leave this option. Next thing is G code. You can add header, you can add footer as I discussed earlier, but we are gonna with the default G code of the header and the footer as per this machine. Now I'm gonna go with few settings here. I'm gonna select the raft. It will basic settings. I'm gonna keep layer 3 and I'm gonna slice it. Now while slicing you will see here these threads can be easily removed afterwards, or you can generate sports here. So we are gonna see if we need sports or not. So first of all, you can see in the raft there will be four layers. Okay, one, two, three, four. There are four layers of the raft, and uh, raft is 5 mm offset from the first layer. This is the first layer, this is the raft, and this distance will be 5 mm, and this will help gonna help in the proper adhesion of this groove with the bed. Next thing is sports. So if you see Groot, baby Groot here, you may need sports here. For example, you can draw sports here. May need sports here so that these arms shall not fall down during printing. So how you can change the settings of sports? Here you can see the thickness. You can change the thickness. Greater thickness means, for example, if you are gonna keep thickness to 2 mm, the sports will be thick, and minimum angle. This angle is with the vertical axis. Remember that if angle is greater than 60 degree with the vertical axis, then it is gonna provide sports. So I'm gonna go for the auto generate. It is not generating any sports. I'm gonna it will take time because there are multiple sports. So let's see. So if I'm going to see the back side, so here going to home back, you can see here it has generated sports only to up to uh, between the legs. So if you're gonna change the angle, for example, I'm gonna change the angle to 30 degree, then it will generate sports here to support these uh, uh, arms. So it will take time. So let's see how it's gonna generate the sports. Then I'm gonna go for further. So here you can see it has generated two sports to sport the arm. You can just add multiple sport by clicking, clicking. But I have already generated sports using auto generate. So I'm gonna go for the slicing, and then we are gonna uh, take the G code file to the computer. So you can now you can save the settings or directly print. If your computer is connected to the printer, you can directly load a G code to the machine. You can print, and you can uh, save it to the pen drive. I'm gonna save it to the files in my PC. I'm gonna save it into my folder of 3D printing, and this will give save as into the .g code file. So finished. So you're gonna see the G code file here. You can open it with Notepad, and you can go for the machine, and you can easily print. Now remember that in your assignments, you're gonna follow these instructions as I mentioned, or I uh, taught you, or you're gonna follow my instructions, and you're gonna print any part. Specifically, you can choose from your project. You are gonna make the G code of that file, and you will make a report in which you will mention all the conditions specifically about the extrusion with whichever parameter I have discussed. You are gonna mention its importance. You are gonna discuss is why you have chosen that parameter, and you are gonna submit me an report. And secondly, you are gonna submit me the G code file along with your report. So thank you so much. The next tutorial will be about the Craftbot or the 3D printing machine. Or if you want to visit the 3D printing, you can visit in the computational lab where the printing printer is available. You can visit in the supervision of any teacher or even me. So best of luck. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.